Hello everyone and welcome. Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a few very clean and simple, easy peasy graphic projects. How many adjectives can I come up with? But you probably have the supplies to make these cards today if you wish. Now I was inspired by Pinterest. I get lost in Pinterest. I don't know if you do too, but oh, these circular graphic designs got my juices a-flowing. And then the half circles with these mountains, fell in love with that too. So I took some inspiration, adapted it for a card. I'll show you how I did it. Starting with some nested circle dies. These ones are by Simus' Stamp. I'm going to use the 5 smallest circles in the die set. And I'm arranging them on a half sheet of cardstock. Just whatever cardstock, doesn't even matter. This is going to become a stencil. So I take that off camera and I die cut all 5 of those circles with my die cutting machine. There you have it. Now, here's my panel. I'm using Neenah Solar White. I highly recommend for ink blending, but whatever white cardstock you prefer, you do you. Okay, now I'm taking that largest circle and tracing it. That way I could center my circle and know where it needs to be centered. I take a T-square ruler and I find the halfway point. Okay, you just got to measure. Once I find the halfway point, I draw a line horizontally right across. That way I can mask it right at the halfway and be straight, because I tried this before and if you get it crooked, ain't gonna work. So I got it straight. I'm masking off that first largest circle, and I'm starting with Altenew ink in the color Dewdrops. Of course, any inks can work for this. I say it all the time. Any brand, any type, any formula, blend away, baby. You can do it. But what I like about the Altenew is that they come in the sets of 4. So I'm using those 4 different shades to go darker, darker, darker. But if you don't have a ton of inks, just use lighter pressure on that first one. And then as your circles get darker, use heavier pressure, more ink. And you can still achieve that gradient goodness. So now I laid down the second smaller circle mask. And I used Aqualicious, which is the next shade darker. And I'm going full throttle with the inking. You know, I'm just getting a nice, even coverage. You see how you can see those 2 right there? This is magic. I mean, do you feel it like I feel it? When colors overlap like this, it just gets my motor running. Okay, next color is Teal Cave. Okay, and it's a shade darker. Again, full throttle. Now, you might ask, am I using different sponges? No, I'm not. I did use a lighter sponge for the 2 lighter inks. Now that I switched to the darker, I have a darker one. Just happen to have it. And then now this one here is called Galactic something. I'll have all the colors linked below. Again, I'm using the same sponge as I did before. You know, is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. It's what I do. I don't have time to switch the sponges. I'm in the groove. You know what I mean? Now the last one, this is Sapphire. It's actually a totally different color of blue. It's a very blue, not a teal blue. But I didn't have anything to go darker, so you got to make do. You know what I mean? Make do with what you have, and it will work. I'm telling you. See that? It's actually a different blue, but we're going to just go with it. Now take off the mask and just bask. Just bask in the glory of it. Are you basking? I mean, I am. Okay, do it with me. All right, now I'm taking the same mask. This time I'm going to flip it over because my top half of the circle I'm going to use pinks and reds. And I didn't want to contaminate my pinks with some of that blue ink, so I flip it over. I don't know if you need to do that, but I'm just being safe. You know what they say, better safe than sorry. That's right. So, okay, moving on to the top half. I am starting with more Altenew inks in the color Frosty Pink. Again, use whatever inks you have. So this idea right here has been brewing on me for about a month. I just never took the time to do it, but I've been wanting to do it. You ever have ideas in the back of your head brewing? You need to take the time to do them. But another thing that inspired me is somebody messaged me and said, hey, do you think you could make some projects using products that we might already have? That way we don't have to buy new things. You know, with all that's going on right now, it's a little crazy time. Hard to order, hard to get stuff shipped out. Money's tight. Whatever. Okay, so this, I mean, you want to talk about limited supplies. Couple circle dies, a little Post-it tape, some ink, bada boom. All you need. And while I was blabbing away here, I'm ink blending. This time I'm working my way darker and darker towards the left, whereas on below I was working darker and darker towards the right. So I'm going opposite directions. And then now here's my last little dark red circle. This is Grapevine, dark, kind of a brick red ink color. And I'm pressing that in, trying to get a nice, dark, vibrant red. And then when I remove this mask, prepare for your socks, your pants, your hat to be knocked right off. Look at this. I mean, it's jumping off the page. Just tickles my fancy like you wouldn't believe. Now for a sentiment, I'm keeping it very simple. These are these pre-printed sentiment strips by Simon Says Stamp. I'm trimming them with my paper trimmer, and it seemed to be the easiest way because I wanted it really skinny, like so. And if you don't have any of these pre-printed, just go ahead and emboss a sentiment that you have, emboss it in white on black, same idea. Or if you don't want to emboss, you could stamp. You could stamp a sentiment right on top of the design if it's bold enough to be seen. And look at this. This is a happy little accident. This sentiment strip fit perfectly side to side. I mean, like it was meant to be. I'm telling you, it's the little things in life. Like when the sentiment fits like that, just makes your day. And here's the previous card that I made, same idea, but I was testing out different, ways. See how this one on the right, where I did both circles on the top and bottom dark, and then I faded it out to the left. Whereas this one on the left, I did opposite directions. Which one do you like better? I kind of like the one on the left. But, they're both cool. I'm going to do one more card because I'm on a roll. Oh, I went ahead and did the bottom half exactly how I did all the others, right? The blue circles, half circles. And then I'm on the top, I'm masking off these mountains is what they are. This is very abstract, kind of graphic. Nice bread. Oh my gosh, nice red mountain. I've got bread on the mind. Oh gosh, if you wouldn't believe how much bread I eat. I got to cut back. But you know what, after this video, most of the time I do a voiceover. This is the truth. When I'm done, I go down and I have a piece of chocolate. It's like I reward myself. But today's special because my daughter Bailey, she was in the mood. And she's down there baking some chocolate chip cookies. Now, I had one bag left of Toll House chocolate chips. And I said, you better get this recipe right. Because my chocolate chip cookies lately have been turning out like pancakes. So that little Bailey, God bless her, she got the scale out and she weighed the butter, weighed the flour, weighed the brown sugar, and went to town. I took a peek and I saw those cookies coming out of the oven. And they were puffy. And she was mighty proud, to say the least, because she knows everything in our house is a competition. Let's just cut to the chase. It's all a competition to see who can do it better. When I gotta say she wins on the chocolate chip cookies, hands down, and I will, because when I go to eat it, she's gonna be watching me, and her reward will be my facial expression, and I'm gonna just have the biggest smile that you ever seen, and she's gonna be giddy as all get out. Okay, so I finished my card, and this card right here makes me just about as giddy as a puffy chocolate chip cookie. Again, I did another one of those sentiment strip, trimmed it out with my paper trimmer, popping it on. I used my T-square to get it straight. I love a nice straight sentiment. Nothing worse than a sentiment that's cockeyed, And this card's finished. So there you have 3 graphic, simple cards with circled eyes and Post-it tape and a lot of love. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you're hanging in there, staying healthy. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.